Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Bubble Transformation. This file will help you become a beautiful, shiny bubble floating around wherever. Now, of course, it's just your mind being transported into the space that a bubble can occupy. I wonder, have you ever blown bubbles yourself? Noticed that just after you make them and they're still very close by, you can almost see a shimmer of colors over the surface. They float and flutter and drift on the wind, and they're so light, almost impossibly so. But it's also really fun. And yet, you may wonder how nice it would be to float with one of the bubbles that you blow. So take a deep breath. And then when you exhale, imagine blowing many, many bubbles, like a whole cloud of bubbles. And just imagine yourself traveling with that cloud. And in the beginning, while it's difficult to count how many bubbles there are, but they pop and they slowly disappear, as do your thoughts. And the more you listen, the more you let those bubbles pop away into nothingness, the smaller your mind becomes as it focuses on less and less bubbles. And soon, as you keep noticing each bubble popping away out of existence, your thoughts focusing smaller and smaller, you're riding along with just a few of them. And I can almost count them as you ride along, feeling what the bubbles feel and seeing what the bubbles see. Pop 10, less and less, pop 9, only a few, pop 8, you can almost count them, pop 7, and it feels kind of nice to have less and less of your thoughts remaining, pop 6, only a few left, pop 5, just one hand, pop 4, you almost want to be the last one, pop 3, shimmering together, pop 2, floating softly in the air, dancing on the currents, pop 1. And now you are the last beautiful bubble. Everything else has faded away, and while you listen, you can enjoy how you are aware of even the softest change in pressure. The air around you, allowing you to float up and down. And every time you just seem to dance in the air, with shimmering rainbows dancing along the surface. And at some point, even this one will pop out of existence. But when that happens, I'll just ask you to take another breath, and we'll make another cloud of bubbles. Pop into emptiness. Just for a moment, there's nothing there, no more thoughts, just a beautiful, blissful blankness. So take a deep breath in and then out, blowing so many bubbles again, all of them like a cloud floating, fluttering through the air. And some of them combine and some of them split, some of them pop and disappear into nothingness while you ride along with this cloud again. Less and less, and it seems to almost go faster and slower at the same time, extremely aware of each pop. 10 pops, 9 pops, 8 pops, 7 pops, 6 pops, 5 pops, 4 pops, 3 2 pop, and 1 remaining, light and almost invisible, and a small updraft carried you high into the sky, allowing you to view the whole landscape beneath you. And somehow you're staying in one beautiful bubble as you continue to travel, floating with the wind, being carried across the land. A traveler, simply flowing, like a passenger on the currents. Beautiful display of iridescent refractions on your surface swirls around you as you swirl around the world. And your mind is a beautiful bubble. And of course there might come a time when even that, the last thin layer of thoughts, will pop into nothingness. With your mind beautifully, blissfully blank, you feel as light as a bubble, drifting invisibly, allowing yourself to simply enjoy. Pop. And in a moment this file will end. And if my voice follows, you can remain blissfully blank. Otherwise, if my voice doesn't follow, you can awaken, feeling refreshed and light, having traveled with the bubbles. And remember, every drop is another pop.